Hello. Oh, hello.
Hi, everybody.
Yes, For all the Around the Way Curls listeners, I am so happy to be here, Shanti and I, of Around the Way Curls. If you are not familiar with us, we just pinned this down. So we're a differing but dynamic duo that explore all things profound and profane because duality is a thing.
Okay.
Hit that elevator pitch, girl. Anyway, but we are very excited to be here back home in Philadelphia at the Kimmel Center with our amazing guest of honor. Shanti, do you want to intro our lovely guest?
We're very happy to sit here with Miss Tina Farris.
Woo.
Tina, I have to read your bio because you got a lot going on here.
That just makes me old.
No. This is my definition, the divine feminine manifestation of order and preparation.
Oh.
Okay?
Words,
Tina
girl.
Farris has over 20 years experience as tour manager for legends including The Roots, Chris Rock, Nicki Minaj, Queen Latifah, Miss Lauryn Hill, and many, many. Jill Scott, just to name a few, okay? She is a music executive and content digital live producer and filmmaker, and we're here today to talk about your film. Yay. So, as Antoinette mentioned, Living Proof is premiering here for the first time at BlackStar tomorrow at 2:30.
Yep.
At the Suzanne Roberts, or
Yes, in the Perturbed series.
in the Suzanne Roberts Theater down the street. So, why did you want to tell this story?
It is my film. It's my student film. I just graduated from USC's
Okay.
Oh my
Peter
God.
Sarkis program, and it was an assignment. And my pillars are music, obviously, but also I had extreme stage fright. Like I'm nervous right now talking to you. Like I can't look out at people that I know.
Just talk to us.
Right. So I noticed this dynamic with all of my clients. There's always been any of my clients from The Roots to Lauryn Hill, all the things that people call crazy or whatever is just stage fright. That's my theory. So people are coping to do the extraordinary things that they do on stage, which none of us do. So none of us know how frightening it can be. So who are we to call it crazy, right? Because none of us are going to get on stage and sing or rap or dance. I mean, unless we do that. So that's what I wanted to discover and talk about. And in particular, the artist is Sylvester, who my grandfather happened to produce and manage. And so I made up a little story, and I hope you guys watch it and enjoy it.
We don't want to give away, because we were blessed enough to be able to watch the film. We loved it. You will love it. We obviously don't want to give anything away before it's premiered. But I know that I was kind of stalking you this week in preparation, and I know that you were a bass player, or you still are, right?
I mean,
you are. Once a bass player, always a bass player.
These fingers will tell you otherwise.
Tricky. Well, you are an artist, right?
Yes.
And so I found it to be very interesting because I'm like this logistics person. And then I know that you are also this tour manager. So obviously you're dealing with a lot of like the logistics and taking care of the artist in a very particular way, which I feel like you being an artist, you're able to do that even better and anticipate their needs. But I was listening to an interview with you and Brandon Pankey, and you were talking about how when you put these tours together, it's all about the creative direction. Like you have to sit down, you have to map out what you want to say, right? So I'm curious to know, as you step into these artistic shoes with your film, what was that process like of like when you sat down, you have this assignment, what did you say to yourself? What were you like, what do I want to say and how am I going to go about saying it?
I think it was, I went back to school because I needed somebody to tour manage me, right? I wouldn't sit down and do the thing that I said I want to do, which was tell stories. And I did school full-time while working full-time, so I was also on the road, and one of my clients just said to me, like, oh, every day I try to figure out a way not to go on stage. she just didn't want to go. So I thought about all the ways I have to cajole the artist to get on stage, and the self-sabotage that we experience. And I had 9 minutes because it's a class assignment, so that's why it's not longer, 'cause
Yeah.
I had to fit it in. And I really wanted to amplify my grandfather, who was a producer for Motown, and include him in my first work. So that's how I mapped it out. And I just mapped it out based on, like, the voice of Sylvester is literally one of my clients, like, almost verbatim right before he went on stage.
Wow. Okay.
Do you approach the work with that left brain, or is it this whole other right creative?
I think, so I have this picture of Sylvester and my grandfather and Harvey Milk. And I listened to the album Living Proof, and I found myself in that because I saw that my grandfather produced it, and I just thought about, oh, this is a live show. What must he have done? I know all the stuff they did before they got on that show. I know that story. And I wonder if that's what my grandpa did. But you know what? I don't know, so I'm going to just say he did it. And I wrote it accordingly. But it was definitely something personal, and wanting to, he's gone now, so I didn't know how to ask him these questions, so I just kind of made it up.
So when you're telling your grandfather's story, is he in the room with you while you're writing? How do you tap in to that, like, ancestral plane?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I listen to music in sessions, right? Like, I have had the opportunity to work with the Roots for so long. So Questlove's a total nerd, and so is Black Thought. And we don't listen to just the song. We listen to the session behind the song, right? Like, ooh, they was probably kicking it in the studio when they did this. So anytime I hear something, I go to the notes, I see who it is, I think about the year it was, I think about what the studio was that they were in. And, you know, I'm a nerd like that. So every time I experience music, I experience it in the actual creation of it, down to what the bass player, because, you know, that bass player was jamming in the Shaka Khan session from ... You know what I mean? And so when I listened to the Living Proof album, and there was an overture for a nerd, you know, an orchestra nerd, I was like, damn, there was an overture, so he had to hire this band to play. I wonder who that was. And you know what I mean? I go all the way in, and so, you know, a part of the film, when you watch it, you'll see that a lot of our Foley, which was us being in the studio making up what it sounds like backstage, like, that was very important to the film. Like, so in the mix, I got into, no, you have to hear that part so people are in to the backstage, and you have to hear about water, and you have to hear about how long it takes to get on stage, you know? So it's very much my imagination of what they did during the time, just based on listening to the live album. And having a personal relationship with getting somebody out there and producing in that way. Did I answer the question,
Yes,
or did I
you
ramble?
did.
Okay.
The orchestral, the overture, right? That's kind of like the ticking time bomb,
Right.
in the film, and it's beautiful. Again, I don't want to give things away, but I was really moved by the way it was shot. That felt like another character.
I was directing.
You directed it.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful. When I saw it, I thought, oh, this is so smart, because I watched it twice. I watched it once high as a kite next to Shanti.
Perfect.
I mean, high.
Did he
child.
seem high?
No. He actually, Sylvester, you mean? No, Sylvester seemed really grounded.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sylvester seemed grounded, uncertain, but still rooted in something. And like navigating what that was.
Trying to ground.
Right.
Stuff, yeah.
Okay.
But what I found the second time watching it, I was like, oh my God, look at the shots. Look at how Sylvester's is tight. Like, everything's kind of closing in on him, and sometimes the camera would shake. It was just, it was so intentional. And I'm curious to know how you map that out. Like, it was another character in my mind, really.
She's like, my hands were tired, girl. That's why the camera was shaking. The cameraman was
He
tired.
was like, I was terrified.
Terrified. Well, so in film school, they give you people to work with that
Yeah.
you may or may not have ever chosen to work with.
Oh, it was like a group project?
It was a group project.
Terrible.
There was a budget. I ignored the budget. I cussed out all the professors because we were all the same age. I was like, look, I'm going to do this the way I'm going to do it. I ain't got time to practice. You know what I mean? I'm 50 years old. I can't be practicing in school.
I know that's
This is
right.
going to be a film, and I'm going to put it in the film festival, and I want to put it at BlackStar. Like,
I know that's
it was very intentional. So I spent money on it, and I shot a bunch of times, and I asked my friend Bashir Salahuddin to be in it, you know?
Bashir Salahuddin.
Please say who that is real quick.
Shot, Southside.
Gotta pick up that name real quick.
Sherman
You just dropped.
Showcase. Like, I pulled in favors, and I pulled in my classmates because they're much younger than me. And I was like, no, this is how we finna do it. This is gonna be a group project. I used, this isn't gonna be a name drop session, but it kinda is. But, so I worked with the Black Eyed Peas, and will.i.am has this amazing studio. And he was like, yeah, come in here and do this. So he let me have the run of his spot. I made it look like a backstage. He let me do that. I made his office look like a dressing room. One of the undergrads wanted to be a production designer, and I was like, here, girl, how would you make it look? And she was like, thank you, because she got to do whatever she wanted because I paid for it. One of my good friends did the design of the costumes for me. Like, I had
Costume and makeup was just fantastic.
Yeah.
I had
loved
people
it.
on it, like
Yeah.
people who I've worked with or I've given jobs to, who were like, okay, we'll pull this favor in. And I just wanted it to look like we were in a rush. And here's what happens before I go on stage. Everybody throws everything at you to resist to get on.
Wow.
So some people have to use the bathroom. Some people have to do their hair. Some people have to throw up. Some people forgot to eat. Some people have to call their baby mama. Like, you know what I mean? There's always something. I think the only person that I've never had to push out on stage is probably Black Thought or Chris Rock. Everybody else is like, so I wanted the audience to feel that. I wanted them to chase. I wanted them to be back and forth. I wanted them to feel like the audience was getting louder and waiting in anticipation. And so, yeah, it was intentional.
Go ahead.
To go back to music, hip hop is turning 50 this year, and I want to know what your favorite era of hip hop was.
90,
The 90s.
90, 93. I like DJ Quick. I'm from the West Coast till I die.
Oh,
I like DJ Quick and Second to None and random, horribly toxic hip hop. Like,
yes, yes.
like
It slaps.
the
It's
most
the best. Yes.
ridiculous hip hop
Yes.
you've ever heard. And then
Yeah.
Thug Mrs. Kia. Like, you know, I don't like any hip hop now.
Interesting.
I'm
wow. You don't
trying.
have nobody that you're like excited about or have any faith in.
Kendrick, maybe?
Oh yeah, I mean, but he's 90. You know what I mean? Like, he's an old soul. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if he counts because he's so good.
Yeah.
He's undeniable.
That's a solid answer. I accept that.
I try to like everybody. Like, I want to listen to Meg, but I don't know the lyrics like I know Kia, Thug Mrs. You know what I mean?
No.
Or Trina, the baddest
Yeah.
bitch. I don't know. I can't listen to it now because I feel silly. You know what I mean?
No, I get it.
Silly trying to pop to something. I'm like, she sounds ridiculous.
No, that makes
I didn't even like Nicki when I worked with Nicki. You know, I
Oh,
wasn't.
wow.
T.
I liked. Let me not say that. I liked how brave she was to go out and be a character.
Yeah.
You know, I liked her caricature
Yeah,
of herself.
yeah.
So getting props for her was fun because she went all the way. She had no limits.
She was committed. She
Yeah.
feels like a little, like there's, well, no, she went to school for, like
Theater,
high school
yeah.
for drama.
Right, she
so
went to
there's
LaGuardia.
that kind of
Right. and
interesting
so many
background to her.
Correct. And she wanted to be a performer. She's a performer.
Yeah.
Unlike so many people who perform in Instagram or Snapchat and you know what I mean?
That
Like, their
does not
performances
translate on
are
stage.
awful.
Yeah.
Like, I get calls now for tours, and I'm like, oh,
Absolutely not.
are you gonna put the audience to sleep, or what are we doing? Are we waking them up?
I mean, when you're dealing with these artists too, I'm curious to know if there's a point in the film where someone has to encourage Sylvester. We won't say who that is. Is that you? Is that how?
That's how it is.
Yeah, that's what you're doing.
I love to know that backstory. I loved, you saying that changes so much for me after watching the movie. And just giving me insight into the performers' lives as well. I think that's,
Right.
yeah, I love.
Like the guy's outside, but he's imagining somebody saying, and it's nobody. You know, he's high, so it's the guy outside really saying everything. I don't know if that came through, but
Oh, no,
I was trying.
That he was high? Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh my God! I just thought it was.
That was the first shot.
Oh yeah, he did. My little self. I'm like, he's getting a mint. That's nice. No,
Nothing about drugs.
I thought it was like,
Wow.
that's so funny. In my mind, I'm like, oh my God, he's overcoming this fear, and this is his inner being, his double consciousness.
Hallucinating.
Sometimes it be like that.
Oh, I should have
I was
third
like,
time.
God is coming down and speaking to him. Whoa, it was acid. Well, there you go.
Oh, if you do acid, God will come and speak to you too.
Oh, that's hilarious. Sorry. Okay. Well, there you go. I have to watch it for a third time now.
That is gonna
Tomorrow?
make a lot
Different
more.
eyes. Yeah.
We have a game for you.
Uh-oh.
I love games.
We have something that we do on our podcast called Rapid Fire Questions. You have 2 options, and you must choose one of the 2 options. You cannot ask questions. You cannot defend yourself. You just have to commit and answer. You have 2 seconds to answer.
Okay.
Let me get my list together.
She's got the notes. I added one that she doesn't want to add.
I'm going to say
I'm
it,
ready.
and I'm curious. Are you ready? Biggie or Tupac?
Biggie.
Prince or Michael?
Prince.
Jill or Erica?
Take a breath.
Is there a no comment section? Okay. Still trying to work out here.
I know that's right.
Philly or LA?
Huh?
Philly or LA?
LA.
You Got Me or Next Movement?
You got me.
Love Jones or Jason's lyrics?
Love Jones.
In the Light or In the Dark?
Light.
Sweet or savory?
Savory.
Flats or drums?
Say that again.
Flats or drums?
Drums.
It's my girl. You mad?
Do it.
Roots or the internet?
I heard you say that the internet was your favorite band.
That's fucked up.
I caught it. I caught it on the interview now. I said,
Roots.
This is internet. This is our most contentious one. Voodoo or brown sugar?
Voodoo.
oh my God.
Hi.
Whatever.
All right. And lastly, Love and Light or Money and Dicks?
Sorry, Mom. That is so inappropriate, Shotzi.
Love and light.
Oh.
Oh, that's wonderful, though. Yeah. Like,
Well, because, you know, you can get money and you can get dicks.
teach me, girl.
That ain't nothing.
How? Please
Got a
help.
lot to learn.
No problem. On our next episode.
There you go. I just, since it's, you know, we're gonna get a drink hopefully later, and I'm just curious. I want to know if we need to sign an NDA. I want to know how many NDAs you've needed to sign, because you done seen some things, I'm sure, in your life.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any last-minute stories that you'd like to tell us? Outside of artists being terrified to go on stage and doing everything in their
that's the
possibility.
story. I said they be getting high,
That.
pissing on themselves. Like,
What? They're that scared?
yeah.
Wow.
Every time you hear a story about somebody being crazy, and my theory is
Oh, they're scared.
they were scared to go on stage. Because somebody just puts you out there and says, you know, sing and dance, little magic. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Like, dance, nigga, let's go.
Wow.
And then you're supposed to do it to eat. You can't just do it because you like to.
Yeah.
And then if you don't do it, then you crazy. Like, these are the parameters.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Capitalism makes you crazy.
Yeah.
That's our favorite word on Around the Week, girls.
That's what's crazy.
If you have any advice, I'm really inspired by you. I'm really inspired by the fact My background is that I grew up performing, went to school for it,
Love it.
went into I'm a producer, went into like a logistical world of like, setting things up and looking for the next iteration of myself and what that's going to be. And I hear you're going, you just left film school, you've traveled over the world with these artists. You are a bass player because yes, there's video on YouTube. I watched, it was lovely. And so I'm just curious to know, what is your advice for folks when there's a creative being and capitalism is very real, right? And that can sometimes stifle your creativity because you have to survive. What's your advice on how to manage that?
Betting on yourself as well, taking those leaps of faith and betting on yourself.
The opportunity now with the strikes and everything you're seeing is that you have to bet on yourself. Like you're not even going to be in a position to ask for somebody to do it for you. You know what I mean? Like I think the biggest terror is the green light, right? We're on a hamster wheel trying to get a green light, right? And if you take that away, like we can now, because there's so many places for our content to be, then I think it'll be okay. Like, I think you keep reaching for the artists that you can do this in your living room. I can come over, we can have a drink, and we can do this same podcast over and over again, and you don't need anybody to approve of it. You can just put it on. Now, if you need to live in a mansion, you know what I mean, that'll be a problem, but we could all buy property in Jackson, Mississippi.
Okay,
like, you know what I'm saying? They got internet. Like, we can all do that if we were brave enough. Like, what would that look like if we all just said, you know what, fuck LA and New York. Let's move to Jackson, Mississippi or Louisville, buy us some property for $25,000, 10 of us, and then create something because we can. You know what I mean? There's outlets for it instead of being bound by the green lights or the record labels or the upfront money because we don't have it now, so what's the difference? And I'm trying to convince myself of that too. You know what I mean? I'm not just trying to proselytize and tell y'all what to do. I'm just really saying, what would it look like if we were that brave? And all of us in this room went and moved someplace and just created our own shit. We would make the same money that we needed to make. We would. I believe that. You just need a sponsor. But everybody just needs a sponsor. Everybody just needs that. I mean, commercials are sponsors. Subscriptions are sponsors. You can do that. That's why Instagram has subscriptions now. Like, that's why you have those opportunities to do it for yourself.
And it's all based in community.
Yeah, because if I have 14,000 followers. If I could get everybody to give me $25, would I be begging for a green light? I'd probably just move someplace where I could afford it. Philly's still kind of affordable, you know? Yeah. New York's not.
No.
LA's not.
Trust me. That's an idea. I think, last question for me. I'm curious to know, since we're in a room probably full of creatives and folks who are doing their thing in this space, I know that you have been very blessed to work in Black spaces and to work with folks who wanted to see you win, seemingly, at least that's from what I gathered from your interviews, and who supported you. So what is your advice to folks in positions of power who are in this space, and there's folks coming up trying to find the green light?
I think it's really cliche, but they said this in college, and I'll say it again. Like, look within your peers. I just hang out with my peers. They're not, you know what I mean? Sean G hired me when he was just the business manager. He wasn't the president of Live Nation Urban. You know what I'm saying? My peers are dope. Your peers are probably dope. Find who those people are and rise with them, because who else are they going to look to? They're going to look to you to figure out blah, 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 blah. I'm all those people's tour manager because there wasn't a tour manager. They were just like, Tina know how to do it? I didn't know how to do it. I learned how to do it because they kept throwing me the jobs. So I feel like that's the space. Everybody knows how to do something in the group, right? You know, like, I am a producer, but I also need somebody who's really nitpicky and knows how to, you know, grind and get it done. I freaking called Katie. You know what I'm saying? I was like, Katie was like, why are you calling me? I didn't even think you liked me. I was like, I don't know if I did, but I know you can get it done. You know what I mean? But still, like, be a leader and knowledgeable enough to be able to delegate and find those people. And then you guys all do it together. I bought a camera. I don't know how to shoot, but I know somebody probably do. And I'm going to just give them my camera, and then we go make something. And then who's the person that knows how to get the sponsorships? Oh, that's that person. She knows how to sell stuff. Let's have her sell this project. You know what I mean? Like, you look in your squad. That's my advice.
It's great advice.
Big Leo leader energy.
Big.
Very big. Your birthday's coming up. No. And we wanted to celebrate you with a little something, something. So let's bring it out.
Aww.
I got a little treat for you. We all gonna sing happy early birthday collectively.
Come on, do it. Stevie Wonder style, y'all. Don't embarrass me. 1,
That's
2,
the only one.
3.
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya.
Thank you,
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Those look great. Birthday to ya. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Ooh, who did the run?
I know. I was with you. I was with you.
I heard that.
They cut it off early, but all right. Do you want to make a wish?
Oh, I wish for us to all buy land in Jackson, Mississippi,
Mississippi.
and blow up.
Listen, congratulations again.
Thank
it is
you.
such an honor to speak with you.
Likewise. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Everybody, please make sure you check out Living Proof. So I don't know the name of the theater. Help me out.
At Suzanne Roberts at 2:30 tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yes, very exciting. And please give a warm round of applause for the GOAT.
Tina.
Thank you.
Tina
Thank you.
Farris.